2002, Disney first explored the realm of computerized visual effects with the sci-fi classic Tron. 28 years later, the story finally continues in Tron Legacy. But before you hit the theaters on December 17th, you probably should brush up on the digital world of Flynn, Encom, and, of course, the Master Control Program. So strap on your glowing disc, climb aboard your light cycle, and get ready as IGN presents 10 things you need to know about Tron Legacy. And if you're worried about 3-decade-old spoilers, well, consider yourself warned. Jeff Bridges starred in the original Tron as Kevin Flynn, a genius computer programmer who created hugely popular video games like Space Paranoids. Unfortunately, his evil rival Dillinger took all the credit for the games and got Flynn fired from Encom. How do we know that Dillinger is evil? Because he's played by David Warner, who is always evil. Flynn wound up opening an arcade, but he never forgot what was done to him. In an effort to prove what happened, Flynn tried to hack Encom's computers and ends up being transported to a digital world of state-of-the-art graphics. Well, they used to be state-of-the-art. Here, Flynn was able to prove Dillinger's treachery, publicly disgrace him, and take over the company as its new CEO.
Greetings, program!
Blade Runner had the Tyrell Corporation, Resident Evil has Umbrella, and Tron has Encom. Part Microsoft and part Pixar, Encom is the conglomerate where Flynn and Dillinger worked. It's also the Encom servers where he was digitized and sent to in the first film. In the years between Tron and Tron Legacy, Encom has experienced enormous success under Flynn's reign. But the CEO mysteriously disappears in 1989, just as he was on the verge of a huge digital breakthrough. As Legacy opens, Flynn has been gone for years, leaving behind his only son. Tron Legacy's main hero is Sam Flynn, Kevin's son. He was only 7 years old when his dear old dad disappeared, but being the orphaned son of a computer genius has its perks, mainly being the largest shareholder of Encom stock. In other words, he's stinking rich. Guess that sort of makes up for not seeing his dad for 20 years. Anyway, a discovery in Kevin's secret office triggers the same technology that digitized Flynn Sr. decades ago. What Sam finds inside the machine is his greatest dream come true, but there's always a catch. Looks like he's now his father's only hope. Both films mostly take place in the digital world of computers, fully realized and yet virtual realities. You know, sort of like The Matrix. But unlike The Matrix, the sequel to Tron doesn't suck. In the original movie, the digital world existed within the Encom computer servers. In Legacy, Kevin has created his own self-contained world within a computer system at Flynn's arcade. Known as the Grid, this realm is infinitely more advanced than the somewhat dated one in the original Tron world, and yet many of the same rules apply, especially when it comes to exploding. The world of Tron is made up of people like Sam and Kevin. They're called users. There are also the programs, living computer code that look just like their users in the digital world, only with fancy glowing bodysuits. Programs also wear discs on their back which contain a record of everything they've ever experienced. They're kind of like the program's soul. When a user enters the Grid, they're essentially the gods of the digital world. As such, they have special powers and abilities and can even control life and death. One of the mainstays of the digital domain are the gladiator-like combat events. Tron saw criminal and irrelevant programs being pitted against one another in various contests. The disc game is sort of like racquetball meets frisbee, though any player who catches a platter in the gut will be de-rezzed, which is a fate worse than death. Then, of course, there are the light cycle races. These high-speed bikes leave solid trails of light behind them, forming a deadly maze of walls. After Flynn took over Encom, these practices were put to an end, but in the world of the Grid, the games live on. Clue was a program originally designed by Flynn to infiltrate the Encom computers. Bearing its creator's likeness, the program was destroyed early on in the first Tron film, but a whole new Clue has returned for Tron Legacy, and that's not necessarily a good thing for Flynn.
You have no idea.
Clue 2 is the new villain of the series. A more advanced version of Flynn's original hacker program, this Clue was created to help construct the Grid from the inside. But the program rebelled against Flynn and has kept him trapped within the digital world for decades. Played by Jeff Bridges again, Clue 2 is one of the most amazing aspects of the new film. De-aged by computer trickery, the character looks like the Bridges of 20 years ago, only without the feathered hair. One of the more confusing aspects of Tron for newcomers is that Jeff Bridges doesn't even play the title character. No, Tron is actually played by Bruce Boxleitner, the actor who also co-stars as Flynn's trusted friend Alan Bradley. In the computer world, Tron is Bradley's security program and is really the hero of the original film, while Flynn plays a sort of comedic secondary savior. But in Legacy, Tron is AWOL, and that's where our boy Sam comes in, though don't count the old security program out quite yet. What would a sci-fi adventure film be without the chicks, right? In the first film, the main love interest was Dr. Laura Baines, an Encom scientist who had a babe counterpart in the computer realm called Yori. She was pretty much Tron's main squeeze, though Flynn did sneak in a kiss at one point when everyone thought Tron was dead.
No!
Low blow, man. Low blow.
I know.
Legacy ups the chick quotient with a variety of hot leather-clad programs like Olivia Wilde's Quora. She's a program and a warrior, not to mention a love interest for Sam Flynn. Like you never thought a computer program was hot. It may have taken 3 decades to get a second Tron movie in theaters, but Disney isn't going to make the same mistake twice. An animated series is in the works, the video game Tron Evolution is hitting shelves right now, theme park tie-ins are happening, and perhaps there will be more films too. The future looks bright for the Flynn Empire, so it's time to get digitized. For more on all things Tron, head over to IGN.com.